Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Nier Replicant, we skipped a little bit here. There was an attack on our village, and then Yonah, she was taken to the library, where it would be safe. But we are in the library, we are fighting, and apparently the Shadowlord is here, along with Grimoire Noir. Shadowlord looks mysteriously like an evil version of myself. And then Grimoire Noir is a black version, of course, of Weiss. And they had a big ol' long conversation. I cut that out, thankfully. But they're supposed to merge, you know, in order to do something. It's either save the world or destroy the world or something. But Grimoire Weiss refused. So now we're fighting Noir. And then Kaine, she is bracing that door that we can see back there in the background. Because there's a very kind of strong regenerating enemy behind there. And she can't move from that spot. Or else the big boss will get out. And then Emil, he is lying there watching. Okay, so there's Grimoire Noir and the Shadowlord. And a big spike comes out. And impales the protagonist. Well, I guess that's the end of the game. Yeah, and we can see the Shadowlord has taken Yonah there. I'm not sure why he's taken Yonah, but yeah. Our protagonist is hanging in there. Okay, so here we get a little peek at the Shadowlord. I'm sure we'll see more of him later. Oh, and then he's red color. He's got the red color like the abyssal characters from Reincarnation. Interesting. And our protagonist is standing somehow. Oh, and I forgot to record it, but he was stabbed through the shoulder as well. But he looks okay. Not great, but okay. What do you mean? Maybe this is what Kaine whispered to Emil. Maybe Kaine knows that her time is up. Oh no! Yeah, Emil, he covers his eyes because he has the power to petrify whom he looks at. And then it looks like the shade half of Kaine is getting the best of her. Maybe this is what she whispered to Emil, like, if I ever get to a point where the shade is going to take me over, then you must kill me. Alright, and here we get one of the famous Nier choices. Although, this one's not too hard. I'm assuming if we're annihilated, we get game over, and then we have to come back and then petrify Kaine anyway, so I guess we'll do that. Oh, there goes the eye covering. And we see Emil's eyes.
さよならは言わぬぞ、下着女。なんせお前は不死身だからな。ああ、そうだな。
Yeah, Grimoire Weiss always had a problem accepting Kaine, but here he seems to have come around on her. And I feel like I've seen something like this before. In the Automata anime, when we went into the White City built by Adam, there was a lot of kind of slabs with people in them. I wonder if this is the same thing as that. Oh, and the roof is broken on the library. So yeah, things are not looking good. And 5 years later, holy mackerel. I was not expecting this kind of jump forward in time. But we're back in the village. And then we got these shades again, but they have some kind of armor on them. That's pretty crazy. So I'm assuming they're tougher than before. What? And it looks like the protagonist, but 5 years older. So this is how he comes into the game. Alright. This is the protagonist that I know. From, like, cover artwork, reincarnation collaboration. Two-handed swords and spears. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, these are the three types of weapons that Replicant has. One-handed sword, two-handed sword, spear. And they added fists to Automata just to have like something different from Replicant. That's what they said in a recent interview. Yeah, so we're using the two-handed sword here, the Kusanagi. And then we got a selection of short swords here. Oh, and I was wondering if I was going to be like missing anything that I needed to get all of the endings in part 1, or the young protagonist part. But apparently I can get all of the weapons, even in part 2. Regardless of what we did in part 1, so I don't need to worry. Okay, so I tried out all of the 3 different weapons. Very cool. And then now, maybe it's making more sense to me why the young protagonist was so pure and naive and helpful, kind of a goody two-shoes. Maybe this older protagonist will be more sort of like bitter and kind of hard-boiled, like as a contrast. Alright, so here we're hearing that kind of things have gone downhill since the Shadowlord appeared and took Yonah. That's rough. Searching for 5 years to no success. And then that there sounds a little bit like A2, just living for revenge and killing. Except that protagonist here still holds hope for rescuing Yonah, taking care of the Shadowlord.
んだ足止めを食らったな。
Alright, so here we'll head to the library, talk to Popola again. And library's still broken 5 years later. Haven't even picked up the pieces there. And there's Kaine. That's pretty wild. But yeah, I was looking at the protagonist use different weapons, and I was looking at the different attack animations and kind of seeing similarities to reincarnation characters. When he uses a spear, he looks like Argo. When he uses a short sword, looks like Lars. When he uses a great sword, kind of doesn't look like anybody. Maybe A2? Maybe 063Y? But this old man, turning the world into a metropolis of salt, I wonder if that's also a reference to what we saw in the Automata anime. Okay, let's end the video here before we talk to Popola. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.